Hey there, garden fans, and welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. In today's episode, I wanted to walk around the homestead and show you all the vegetables that we're growing and how we incorporate those vegetables into a perennial food forest. So I know I've shown you all the herbs we got and the wild edibles. Today is veggies, and I'm going to start with the oldest, healthiest plot I've got growing right now. This is a modified Three Sisters garden, so we've got things like spaghetti squash and zucchini. I've got a border of green bush beans and peas here, and instead of growing corn, I decided to grow sorghum, which is a grain, and that's how we're going to use it. We're going to grind down the grain for flour. This whole area has been companion planted with buckwheat, borage, basil, and some brassicas. I've got some kale here, but currently this is the healthiest and oldest looking plot of veggies I got. I started it back in March, and it's grown really fast, and I want to show you why. So, about 6 months out the year, during the fall and winter, we keep our rabbit cages in this area. And we do that because it stays pretty shady, and it's not really great for vegetable growing. However, as spring comes along, the sun gets a little higher in the sky, and this area does get enough sun. So for 6 months, I've been building up an 8-inch pile here of rabbit crap and wood chips, and it's even got some of their food that they've dropped down there, which is the alfalfa pellets. That's going to provide quite a bit of nitrogen, but the whole area stays really, really moist. It's perfect for vegetable gardening. In fact, most people I know would probably grow directly into this. I do amend the soil just a little bit. Here I am adding our own compost mix to it. It's sifted from the back, and it includes our kitchen scraps, chicken bedding, and green material from around the homestead. So I'll add that compost to it, and then I'll basically do a double dig method here. I'll dig one day, come back the following day, and just work it until I get a pretty fine, even tilth all the way around. Once I've done that, I'm ready to grow, guys. So in this plot, I've direct seeded some things like the sorghum and the beans and even the buckwheat. And I seed started things like the basil and the squash and even the brassicas I got growing here. So here's what this plot looked like a week after planting, and obviously here it is a month after that. So that's what we plan on doing across the whole food forest. We're gonna chop and drop our clover, put wood chips over that, and then grow directly into that. So here actually is my next generation of squash and zucchini I got starting. And here is a plot to show you what I'm talking about in practical application. We've chopped and dropped, we've wood chipped, and then we grew directly into that. So I've got basil and hyssop, and then I've got a Three Sisters garden growing here, a true Three Sisters. I've got spaghetti squash, zucchini, and corn all in this area. And once again, I've cover cropped it with buckwheat and clover. So the buckwheat acts as a nurse crop. It basically is shading out the ground, keeping it moist. It's a short season, so it'll grow and die, and the corn will keep on growing. It's basically a living mulch is what I got going on here. So moving along the forest, I wanted to show you our nightshade guild, which really seems to be ticking along right now. I've got carrots, companion planted with tomatoes and basil and peppers, all growing in a really small area here. And all these plants love to grow with each other. They're not competitive at all in nature. They have natural symbiosis, and they seem to grow stronger when put with each other. So here's some peppers right here, and more basil and peppers. All the white stuff you see, guys, that's diatomaceous earth I've sprinkled around. It's just to keep the slugs off of everything. The perennials that I got growing here are actually my goji berry, which are now flowering out and starting to set some fruit. I should have no problem gathering goji berry this year. The last two things I wanted to show you guys are our potatoes, and I grow my potatoes consecutively. So I do have 3 buckets here that I started this month, a month after I started my first batch, and when I harvest my first batch, I'm basically gonna work and turn them and start another 4 buckets. So this should keep us pretty well stocked with potatoes throughout the growing season. Last thing I wanted to show you guys is just our cut and come again greens. And we've been cutting and coming again. The carrots that I companion planted are starting to come up, and I've even got some more salad bowls growing on the back porch. So everything's looking good this year, guys. I want to thank you all so much for chilling out and hanging around today. If you got any questions, just please go ahead and ask. And if you like this video, please give me that thumbs up and share the video. You never know who might need the knowledge. Thanks so much for hanging out today, guys. Appreciate it as always. God bless.